It happened without a warning. No flash of light, no sound from the heavens. It was a Tuesday morning, just like any other. People were commuting to work, pouring their first cup of coffee, hugging their children goodbye at the school gate. And then, in a single, silent instant, something shifted. 1 billion souls scattered across every continent suddenly felt it. It was not a thought, not an idea learned from a book. It was a knowing, a deep, undeniable truth that bloomed inside the heart. The I that each person thought they were was an illusion. In its place came a vast, loving awareness. It was the universe itself, looking out through their eyes. For me, it was a moment of profound peace. The weight of my own story, my history, my name simply fell away. And in its place, a stillness, a quiet joy. I saw not just my hands, but the hands of the universe. From the outside, it must have looked like the world had simply stopped. On busy city streets, cars drifted to a halt. In bustling offices, the frantic clicking went silent. The chatter of news and social feeds faded away. For a few sacred moments, a great stillness fell over the planet. People looked at each other, and for the first time, they truly saw. They saw not a different race. They saw not a different class. They saw not a different belief. They saw a reflection of the same beautiful consciousness. In that global moment of quiet, a new language was born, without words. In Tokyo, a young woman met an elder's eyes. They smiled. In Sao Paulo, a worker put down his tools and looked up in awe. At barricades, arms lowered, empathy dawned. The masks and roles became transparent. This wasn't a trance. It was a hyper-awareness. Every color brighter, every sound clearer. The sun on skin, a leaf dancing, a joy. The world didn't fall into chaos, it fell into grace. The billion who awakened became anchors of peace. Their calm was contagious, their quiet joy rippled outward. They became lighthouses. In their light, a different way of living was already here. In the days and months that followed the great stillness, the world did not go back to normal. How could it? 1 billion people now operated from deep connection, reshaping everything. Relationships transformed. The need to be right, to win, to prove a point, melted away. It was replaced by a desire to understand, to listen, and to love. Families spoke with a new honesty, old wounds healed through shared understanding. The relentless pursuit of profit and status seemed hollow. People asked a new question: how can I serve? Leaders walked toward gardens and classrooms. The economy's heartbeat changed from accumulation to contribution. Companies prioritizing people and planet thrived. We built on generosity and collaboration. Laws once managed separateness. Empathy became our new compass. We looked at those suffering and no longer saw other, we saw ourselves. Borders felt imaginary, war became unthinkable, neighborhoods became true communities. The frantic pace slowed. We found joy in sharing meals, walking in nature, listening to music. Fulfillment came not from what we get, but from what we give, and from the deep well of peace within. Years later, the world is barely recognizable, yet more like home than ever. Art is reborn, beauty of existence, music to heal and uplift. Science journeys with spirit, exploring consciousness as fundamental. Medicine honors mind, body, and the universal spirit. Technology serves connection, not distraction. Education teaches how to access the wisdom within, meditation, empathy, and nature. A planetary consciousness becomes lived reality. A global council acts for all life. We remain American, Japanese, Kenyan, but first human. We are earthlings. We restore oceans and ensure dignity and purpose for all. Of course, there were challenges. A birth has labor pains. Some resisted and called it a sickness, a mass delusion, built on fear, built on division. But it was like stopping the tide with a broom. Love and peace proved too powerful. Integration took time. How to be both the ocean and the wave, a boundless spirit, and a human with responsibilities. Awakening didn't end sadness or anger. It held them in a larger container of love. Transitions were messy. We rebuilt systems to meet everyone's needs. Spiritual ego tempted a new division, the awakened and the unawakened. We remembered, awakening was not an achievement, it was a gift of grace. The goal was never an exclusive club, but to hold the door open for every soul. In the end, this was the universe waking up to itself, through us. For eons it expanded, creating stars, planets, life, yet awareness dreamed it was separate and small. The Great Awakening was the moment the giant stirred. The universe saw its reflection in the mirror of our eyes, saying, "Ah, there I am." It was not the end of our story, but the true beginning. This shift matters, the answer to every prayer, the end of loneliness, the end of fear, the end of separation. The love we sought outside was our essence all along. This understanding changes our very being. It infuses our actions, our words, and our thoughts with grace and love. It fulfills our deepest purpose, to be the conscious, loving heart of the cosmos. It means an end to war and poverty. Harm to another is harm to ourselves. We heal the planet because we feel Earth as our own living body. We can build a world reflecting our true nature, one unified humanity in harmony with life. We move forward, not with frantic urgency, but with deep, abiding peace. The journey is ongoing. We are still learning, still growing, still becoming. We carry this light in our hearts and see it in everyone we meet. We are the universe, aware of itself. This is not just a hopeful idea. This is our destiny, the magnificent truth of who we are, and it is the most wonderful thing I know for sure.